Special Tuesday Live again. I love having guests and I love having Christy. We've been talking a lot about kind of where our journeys go and where they land and what our goal set is using real estate because there's a lot of fear in the market right now, would you say?
There is.
There's a lot of fear. And with all the fear, a lot of people don't want to jump into real estate because they simply don't know. Is there a recession coming? Is the housing market in a recession already? So where do you stand in real estate? So last week I told my story about how I made the leap into real estate 12 years ago and where I've gone since then. So Christy is joining me today. Christy Montoyer.
Yes.
I always have the hardest name. Okay, last name to me. I got it though. Christy Montoyer from Live Lab Denver, and it's just the pronunciation. I know how to spell it very well.
I do.
But I say this in admiration. I've seen over the last year your growth in real estate. Your growth as a woman as you continue to venture outside, or I should say beyond your skis, outside your comfort zone. And then partnering with Live Laugh Denver, I've seen you really bring joy to the work that you've been doing lately.
Thank you.
So, Christy, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about who you are, and then we'll jump into the story.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I am very excited about just empowering everyone in having an opportunity in homeownership. It's the number one way to gain wealth for yourself, stability, build generational wealth, and I'm just really passionate about helping everyone see those opportunities that are there for them. Mm-hmm. It can be overwhelming and scary and stressful and all of those things. So people who never thought that they could, that just makes me so excited.
There are 100 reasons not to buy real estate right now. And there's like one to buy it, right? I mean, it's hard to fight the odds, but I do think that with stories like yours, you're able to better relate to your clients and create a path where it's not, hey, look at what I'm telling you to do, but I'm not willing to do it myself. No, come along this journey with me and I'll teach you everything I'm learning along with stepping beside you.
Yes.
Right? So you're in the process of your third purchase, expansion of your real estate empire. Talk to me about your progression, how you got from where you started to today.
Yeah, so my family owned a construction company growing up. We had some commercial and residential rentals, so I was very privileged to kind of grow up in that world. Loved it very early on. Moved to Colorado in my 20s, mid-20s. I bought my first investment home. My now husband and I lived there for a few years. Then we turned it into a rental. Later decided it was the right time to sell. Took that equity and profit that we had made in the home and used it to make our next investment in the Denver area. And then now we're trying to have more purchases every couple of years so that we can turn those into rentals. We just closed last week on our next, yes, and very excited to be doing it right now.
Yeah. It's so we're under contract on a fourplex and a single family in Kansas City. So there's still opportunities here, and we just closed on my daughter's home earlier this year. So Denver's a little tougher, and you're getting creative though. So, and you took the equity from the one. So talk a little bit about what you're finding personally for the investments that you're buying and the investments you're helping your clients find. How are you having to get creative in the Denver market?
Yeah, I think really seeing the whole picture as the future and what the house can turn into. I'm looking at, with this new purchase, what we would like to live comfortably for a couple of years, but also how we can get more people into the home and what they'll be looking for in the future. So looking for the right location as far as where people want to shop and get their groceries and what's close by and convenient, and then also things that have good bones, as we love to say, and might just need a little bit of updating cosmetic.
Yes. We're seeing that, especially in this market. I'm seeing more homes that the sellers were they were spoiled. I don't want to say spoiled. That has a negative connotation, but they didn't have to dress up their homes to sell them over the last 2 years. And so we're seeing some of that still come on the market. In fact, a real estate agent that I work with has a listing for sale right now. She's already got several cash offers, and she said, "Hey, are you interested in this?" And I took a look at it because I'm always looking. I have 3 kids, all 3 own their first homes, but my oldest is 24 now, so. Which isn't old, which is really young. But I keep thinking, okay, it's time for him to buy his second one. And so I'm always looking for an opportunity. And it was actually a well-priced, really good opportunity for a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, but it needs everything updated, right? And so we're still seeing some of that come on the market where sellers maybe should have put it on the market a year ago and probably would have been upbid, but they didn't for whatever reason. And here it is. And there's opportunities for buyers in this market if you can think beyond or see beyond the current status of the property, right? The current condition. So when you're working with your buyers, are you primarily looking at like places that you can Airbnb, rentable spaces, ADUs, multi-units? What are you finding in the inventory right now?
It really depends on what each person's looking for. I've had clients that were looking to buy something with a basement that could be Airbnb'd. So they are in the process of learning about that and having a lot of fun doing it. Also work with a lot of people who are first-time home buyers. So just really looking to get their foot into the door, might have a specific area that they're looking to stay in or go to, and just trying to find kind of the roof over their head to get out of renting. So each person's situation is a little bit different, but kind of customizing what their needs are.
Right. What's the biggest objection that you're seeing with first-time home buyers? Because I imagine you're working with a lot of first-time home buyers.
Yes.
You've been in the business now going on your second year, so you're building up your clientele. What is the biggest objection right now, and how are you overcoming it or help them seeing through it?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think one of the biggest kind of hurdles for people is kind of more of a myth, and that's the down payment.
Yes.
People think that they need such a large amount of money to be able to buy a home, and they are just mind blown to realize that people are purchasing for as little as 3.5% down, and there's all of these opportunities and resources for them. And that's really, really exciting when they realize that they can do this way sooner than they thought.
I love that. Because you're right, there is a lot of, I don't have a good enough credit score, I don't have enough money to put down, I can't afford it, whatever those things are, a lot of times, and sometimes they're true, but a lot of times they're not. A lot of times they're assumed.
Yes.
Right? So you and your husband purchasing your third property, why real estate, and where are you headed?
Yeah, so we have some big plans for the future. We'd like to have multiple rentals moving forward, as many as up to 10 doors in the next 10 years is kind of our goal. Yes, so just I love getting my hands dirty and doing the fixing up, and we're pretty handy around the house, so have the vision of kind of making it our own, and that's a lot of fun for us too.
So you like finding them a little bit distressed?
Yes.
Nice. And we're seeing that right now. Yeah. Are you seeing a lot of your buyers having some more of a competitive edge in the sense that they can negotiate, whether it's inspection or purchase price?
I think so, yes. Yeah. Inspection especially. I've gotten new roofs, new sewer lines for clients in the last couple of months, and some of those large ticket items, and they're able to walk into this new home that they don't have to worry about much.
I love that. And they should. I mean, that's the maintenance of the previous owner. They should get those things replaced, but I know that we couldn't for so long. One of the things that I love, especially because you're young and you get to not only go through this experience, bring other people along with you, but then really capitalize on one of the best traits of real estate is time, right? And you could say that same thing about stock. I mean, if I bought Apple stock 20 years ago versus if I buy it today, it's different, right? So if I've got time on my side and I can look forward to the next 30 or 40 years of what do I want to accomplish, tell me, like, is there a vision of what, and I'm putting you on the spot here because I didn't tell you this question ahead of time. Is there like a vision of you at 55, at 65, and what real estate is doing for you at that time? Have you started to create that?
A bit. I think when you ask that question, my mind kind of goes to what is real estate doing for other people, and just being able to be 55 and look back on all the families that I've helped, and that's really the whole reason I'm in this business.
I love that answer. I love that. It's so funny because I literally said that same answer to somebody yesterday. They were, what is your goal in mortgage lending, right? And I could say the same thing in real estate. And everybody wants to you want to make money because that's why you work, right? Yeah. And why we're not sitting on a beach. So you want to make money, but beyond that, it was how many lives can I change? How often can we change literally the trajectory of somebody's entire life and their children's, right? And real estate does that differently than the stock market. If I was a stockbroker, and not to put them down, but if I was a stockbroker, I can't really impact you generationally, more than likely. I might be able to help set you up for retirement, but it doesn't have that. I can't reuse it 3 times and then give it to my kids tax-free, right? So capitalizing on the opportunities that real estate brings, how do you typically sit down with a first client? Like if I was a client, I came up to you, this is a little plug for you, by the way. If I was a client, I came up to you because you're so caring, what would be my first experience with you?
Yeah, I really enjoy going through the whole process because everyone's familiar. The way everyone is familiar with what to expect is so different, right?
Agreed.
And some people have a good understanding of the inspection process and other people have no idea that it even happens. And so kind of getting a feel for what the previous knowledge is, if they've bought or sold before, family members have, and then kind of just recreating the whole experience start to finish and letting them know what to expect.
So, and you've had a lot of success with your clients. Would you say as a percentage, most of them are, 50% or 75% are looking towards that next purchase? Are you kind of planting those seeds, or are people just trying to figure out the roof over their head?
I work with a lot of first-time home buyers right now, so it's kind of just even...
Just get a roof.
Yeah, get the roof. Get out of renting.
Yes. Okay. Because it's all the things, right? It's the long-term wealth gain. It's the principal reduction. It's the fact that rents are still going up. It's the fact that you can get in with less down and with a lower credit score, and we can help you build credit and all the things to stop paying somebody else's mortgage and somebody else's retirement and start building your own. And I do think you're right. I think I want to lay it all out for everybody. Like I want everybody to know everything, but it's that first step of putting a roof over your head that creates the biggest wealth jump for the majority of Americans.
Yes.
And then, as you mentioned, you sold one. So you sold one, and I always love the idea of keeping all the homes, but I've sold several homes too. But you sold one because that equity gain was so much better than maybe the returns on the rent that it would allow you to purchase additional properties.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
So it's also understanding the financials underneath it. So any advice that you would give to somebody who's maybe afraid to make that first leap, doesn't think they can, or is in search of a path towards home ownership? Anything that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I think what I try to tell people is speak with a lender right away, because having that knowledge to know what you can afford is a game changer when you're spending, how much you're spending on rent every month. So when you find out how much you're approved for to own something, it just opens up a lot of opportunities and ideas.
And sometimes it's lower than you think you want it to be, but it's a lot of times, especially in this market with home prices having gone up and interest rates having gone up, it's if I can think of that, if I can think forward just even 2 steps and go, this isn't the home I want to live in, but would this make a good rental? Maybe I can live in it for a year, right? So the price point isn't quite what you want, but that gain in equity over the next year on that property that might have been a little bit under what you wanted, you could take that equity and either sell it or hold it as a rental and then capitalize on the next one.
Yes. The first home does not have to be your dream home.
No, it does not have to be your dream home. Everybody wants a dream home first. Well, Christy, you are You are a pleasure to be around. You're a beautiful woman, just exuding energy and love and passion for your clients. I love that about you.
Thank you.
Ever since I first met you. So, and I know that if anybody wants to reach out to you, we'll have your contact down below as well. But really, it's just that simple. It's the fact that you, I don't want to say you stumbled into your first, did you know about real estate as an investment before you bought your first one?
I did, yes.
You did.
Just from my family background.
That's right, in the construction and in real estate. So you worked through and you purchased your first one. Would you say that you did it perfectly?
Definitely not.
So it's that journey that and the missteps and then the few correct steps. It's kind of like golf, right? It's like that really good swing that carries the rest of my game. Maybe it's a personal thing.
I'm not good at golf either.
No. So, but it is that it's the noting of the maybe the small mistakes, maybe the better next times, maybe the I landed that one perfectly by accidents, and all the things, and creating the community around your clients and the experience, right? So real estate is attainable, and it's usually the one step first, which is the roof over your head, and it provides for the opportunity to now have multiple doors with a goal set and a path in front of you.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. Tuesday Live, Nicole Rueth with the Rueth team. And it's just a pleasure to have you joining us today.
Thank you for
and
having me.
Thanks for joining us as well. Bye-bye.